Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Michelle and I'm an autistic woman raising 3 autistic kids with my ADHD husband. So most of the comments I get on my videos are really lovely and supportive, and honestly I appreciate that so much. But lately I've had a few people ask things like, why are you trying to label people? Or why do you use the word normal? And just to be clear, I know that these aren't bad comments at all. They're actually really good questions, and they made me realize I haven't really explained what I mean when I talk about diagnosis and what's considered normal. So I thought I'd make a video about it, just to share my own perspective and personal experience. You might not agree with everything I say, and that's completely fine. And that's the great thing about YouTube. It's that we can have these conversations and learn from each other. So when it comes to autism being a label, like I said, I honestly don't see it that way. To me, getting an autism diagnosis isn't about sticking a label on yourself. It's about understanding how your brain works. Because before I was diagnosed, I knew I was different. I would watch people go about their day, socializing, working, doing life, and I'd think, how do they do it so easily? Everything that seemed effortless for them was so hard for me, and I thought that meant that there was something wrong with me, like I was lazy, a loser, or a failure, and I just wasn't good enough. My self-esteem was at an all-time low. When I finally learned that I was autistic, I felt this huge sense of relief. It was like, oh, okay, I'm not broken, my brain just works differently. That realization changed everything. It allowed me to be kinder to myself, to make adjustments, and to actually understand why I struggle with certain things. And that's why I don't see it as a label. It's not something I wear on a name tag, and I don't go around going, hi, I'm Autistic Michelle. It's just information that helps me, and it helps me navigate life. And sometimes I choose to share it with others, and other times I don't share it with others. Here's a simple way to look at it. If you had undiagnosed IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, you've probably noticed pretty quickly that something wasn't right. You'd go out to dinner with friends, eat the same thing, and then suddenly you're the only one sprinting to the toilet. You constantly get cramps, bloating, discomfort, and you start thinking, what is wrong with me? Now imagine someone tells you, hey, you have IBS. You'd feel relieved, right? You'd learn about it, maybe change your diet, take some supplements, and realize, okay, my normal is just different from others. And you wouldn't feel so bad about yourself. With this knowledge, you can improve your quality of life. So why is autism treated so differently? Why wouldn't you want to understand how your brain works? When you finally have that understanding, you can make choices that actually help you. And that's not labeling, that's self-awareness. Now this is where the double standard comes in, and I find it really interesting. If someone finds out that they have a heart problem, no one says, don't take medication. They just take it because they know it'll help. But when it comes to the brain, things like depression, anxiety, ADHD, or autism, suddenly it's don't get diagnosed, don't take the meds, you're just labeling yourself. It's strange how we treat brain stuff so differently, like there's an invisible line we're not supposed to cross. And unfortunately, there's still such a stigma around it, like understanding your mind is somehow a bad thing, but it's not. It's empowering. And it helps you live your life in a way that actually works for you when parents worry about labeling their kids. I have had parents message me saying things like, our son was just diagnosed as autistic, should we tell him? We don't want to give him a label. And I completely get where they're coming from. That question usually comes from love and protection. They don't want their child to feel different or boxed in. But I can only answer from my own experience, and this is what I tell them. Your child will eventually notice that they're different. They'll see that other kids can handle certain situations or social settings that they really struggle with. They might have sensory sensitivities, noises, textures, and lights, and wonder why no one else seems bothered. So I ask them, would you rather have them growing up thinking that there's something wrong with them or that they're a failure? Or would you help them understand why they're different and that there's nothing wrong with them? It's just that their brain works in a unique way. That knowledge gives them language, understanding, and self-acceptance, and it allows them to build a life that actually suits them, instead of constantly trying to fit into one that doesn't. And now let's talk about the word normal. The dictionary says normal means conforming to a standard, usual, typical, or expected. But whose standard? For neurotypical people, their normal looks one way, and for autistic people, our normal looks another. And both are valid. Both are completely normal, just different. And that's why I think the word normal doesn't really make much sense, because it's not universal. It changes depending on who you are and how you experience the world. What's normal for me might seem odd to you, and what's normal for you might completely overwhelm me. Neither is wrong, it's just different wiring and different experiences. So when I say normal, I'm not saying one is better or worse. I'm saying that everyone's normal looks different, and that's okay. So yeah, when people tell me to stop labeling or they question what I mean by normal, I totally get it. These are complex words and they mean different things to different people. But for me personally, learning that I was autistic wasn't about putting myself in a box or giving myself a label. I just don't see it that way. It was about finally understanding who I am. It gave me peace, clarity, and a whole lot of self-compassion. And as for normal, well, I don't think there is one version of it. There's just your normal. And that's what matters most, finding what's normal for you. I really hope I explained this clearly, and like I said, you don't have to agree with me. That's the beauty of these conversations. We can see things differently and still respect each other. So if you've got your own thoughts on labels, diagnosis, or what normal means to you, I'd actually love to hear them in the comments. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.